Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. This is part two of Money, Magic, and Miracles. All three of my favorite topics, money, magic, and miracles. So I hope you can join me wherever you are. And happy Saturday morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. And I'm just so glad you can join me today for more Money, Magic, and Miracles. So welcome to Beyond Alchemy with Grace. I'm Grace Hom. Yeah, so thank you all for being here. Lots of exciting stuff planned for the day because we already did part one last time, and part one was amazing. So part two, we're gonna do more today to align us all with the feel of abundance, with the feel of money, magic, and miracles. And I think it's like everybody's favorite topic, including my own. Yeah. So let me clear the energy of the field. Oh, so that only that which is for best and highest can happen for us. And for some reason, I need to get those 4 paintings in today. I have no idea why, but there's something there for all of you, and I have no idea what is it about those 4 paintings that's wanting to be in a picture today, because I normally just sit in my desk. So here we are in my living room, and the 4 seasons behind me. And I'm going to tune into the energy of all of you to just get a feel for what abundance means to you, what money means to you, what magic and miracles mean to you. And anything that doesn't allow you to have more magic, more money, and miracles, let's release all that now. And let's align ourselves with that space where miracles can happen. So with the 0 point field, just take a moment here. And I know some of you have been with me before. So and you know how sometimes we work from the place of the Akashic records, which makes everybody sleepy, but it's also amazing in clearing out past life issues very easily, as well as tuning into future lives where you already know what it is to have money, lots of money, prosperity, magic, whatever magic you require that changes things for you, whatever magic means to you, right? Being able to access the magic of you that allows you to create what you want in life, to have what you want in life, to do what you want in life. And miracles, I don't want to define miracles. Whatever you consider a miracle is awesome and amazing, because it's like having something that normally would take a lot of time to create. You can have it now. So that, to me, that's a miracle. And I know the Course in Miracles says a miracle is a change in perception. And I wonder what perceptions we're here to change today. So I want to get started with just creating a safe container for all of us. And I think we just did that in the last few minutes. And now, to really speed things up, to get the most out of this time together, I really like to work today's session from the space of the Akashic records, so that we can clear past life contracts and what have you, and also connect with a future life that allows this moment in the here and now to feel really complete. Complete in that we took care of what was what's holding us back from the past, and being able to really connect with what we truly desire to create in our lives and bring it in the here and now. So that creates a really wonderful way to have a powerful session. So before I do that, as always, I would like your permission to play in Akashic Records. And please remember, once we open Akashic Records and you decide you have other things to do, remember to close it before you go on to do other things, so that you're not feeling sleepy, you're not in that zone where like you're not connected to anything in this world, where you feel ungrounded. I don't want anyone to walk away feeling ungrounded. So please remember, once we open the Akashic Records and all that, it's hard to be really conscious of things around you. I don't know why. Whenever I'm in that space, everything just quiets down a lot. So let me know in the comment section whether you would like for me to work with you through the Akashic Records. And I like to have permission before I go there, because it's such a powerful and personal space. And while you respond, hold on, I'm just gonna go get the light. Hold on, right, be back. Okay, now I feel better. Let's see, are you all saying yes? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, okay. So anyone and everyone who's present now, and anyone and everyone who will be present in the replay, we're going to just invite you into space. And anyone who's listening to this on a replay later and you're driving, please don't be driving while we're working in Akashic Records. Please, 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 please don't be doing that. I'd rather you have a safe space to be, then you know, your safety is important. There's nothing more important than that. Hold on, I'm just. All right. So, yeah, great. Great. Thank you, everybody, for giving me permission. Thank you for, yeah. There we go. We're going to go. So thank you, guides and angels. Thank you, loved ones and keepers of the Akashic Records, for blessing this session with love and light. Thank you, Lady Akasha. And thank you, our Ascended Masters. And bless everyone in this call with love and light. Help us to see the highest truth and help us to act from a place of love. Thank you. And I know some of you who are here doing this, some of you want to be surrogates for like someone else who's having problems. So if you are in a space where you can do surrogation, that's cool. And you know, I am going to do this. I am going to bring in the energy of all the people in places and spaces that are looking for more healing. And yeah, that's all the children, I don't want to forget all the children who are having to put up with all this chaos that adult children create in the name of safe borders or whatever. So we're going to bring in all those families and all those children so that any and all past life issues they have will be set free of all that, and hopefully that will change what's going on in the world, at least a little bit. All right. So, as some of you know, I think there's scientific evidence that says unhealed trauma can still be in our DNA for many generations. I know that for earthworms, it's like 23 generations of earthworms, and I don't know how many generations for human beings. I heard 14, and I used to tell people it's 23 until I realized that that 23 generation thing was based on the study of earthworms. And I know that you're not an earthworm, so I'm not going to call it the 23 generation thing anymore. But I think it's fair to say 7 generations. So let's just go back 7 generations. All scarcity thinking, all poverty vows from all past lives, we will now resend and release to the light. All the contracts, all the vows. And this also means like trauma. So all the trauma that's still in your DNA or body as a result of having lived on survival mode for so many generations. Let's clear all that. And everything the children and all those camps are going through, we're going to release all that now for them. Or release as much of it as possible. We can release all things sometimes, but whatever is possible. Okay. So all the patterns and subconscious patterns of limitation and all the trance states of poverty and limitation we put ourselves in, let's release all that. Oh, now I remember. Now I suddenly get why I need to be surrounded by these 4 scrolls, because I read somewhere that this is how environment affects people. The environment you're in has an effect on your nervous system. If you're in a very calming environment, it may very well change your brainwave patterns so that you're not in a fight or flight response. So if you are in a chaotic environment or noisy environment, like out in the traffic, it affects your body, your physiology, and your brainwave patterns. But when you're in an environment that's calm, it allows you to relax, it allows your body to relax. And you all know this. But sometimes we are in environments where we're surrounded by objects that have a way of subconsciously putting you back into that trance state of limitations, poverty, not having, blah, blah, blah. And I totally understand this because a couple years ago when I was living in my studio apartment and when I was functioning from a state of not having, and I was always just getting things from secondhand stores. I was surrounded by objects, mostly from secondhand stores, and that subconsciously immediately puts me in this trance state of not having, not having, not having enough, not being enough, not having enough, not being enough. And so all the different ways we put ourselves in different trance states of not having enough, not being deserving enough. Let's release all those trance states of not being deserving enough, not having enough. And then not doing enough. Like you're not doing enough to create the life you want. You're not doing enough to create more. You're not doing enough to be wealthy. And I realize in all the jobs I have, the ones that pay the least, oh God, are the ones where I work the most. And I remember it wasn't any fun working in the dish room of a restaurant. So I thought waitressing would be a little better. It wasn't any fun either. So all the ways where we bought into, if we only work harder, we will make more money. Let's release all that because that's a huge morphic field. So everywhere where you're holding yourself back, where you're putting yourself in a state of poverty, whether that's a mental thing, emotional thing, or actual physical financial thing, whatever reasons you put yourself in that state, however that came about, let's release all the subconscious beliefs that created that, the subconscious patterns that created that, and all the trance states that you put yourself in, and even all the trance states that you don't even know you're in, that you're in. So let's release all that now. So how many trance states were you born into from all past lives of limitation and lack and not deserving? Let's release all that. And let's release this from that space of any and all future lives, future timelines, future spaces by tapping into the Akashic records of future lives. And let's release all that there too. Because if it's in your future timeline, future life, it means we still haven't cleared enough. So let's clear it so that it's not in our space now or in the future timelines, parallel lives and all. Okay. Let's see what else comes up as we're releasing all these stubborn patterns that keep us stuck. This thing about being lost in different trance states of not having enough, not being enough, not doing enough, it just feels like there's a whole many things that are holding that in place. Excuse me, let me. So all the reference points and all the hidden objectives that are still holding that energy pattern of not having enough, not being enough, not doing enough, not deserving enough. What is not enough? Release all the reference points for creating that, and all the hidden objectives for keeping that, and any hidden agendas for keeping all that in place. And I'm getting some of you are doing poverty as punishment. So all the guilt you bought into, and sometimes guilt can sound like this. Someone says, well, you're living in the US, you're living in a country where the economy is good, you're living in the best country in the world. What do you have to complain about? Why are you complaining? Why do you want more? Why are there's people starving here and there and there? That and then when you hear about all the children starving, all the crises in the world, all the different wars, all the war zones, all the slavery, this and that, it's easy to get trapped in feeling guilty and then abandon your own desires for creating a better life because you should just settle for what you have and be grateful. So in the thought that wanting more, choosing to have more is somehow greedy because there's so many people starving to death. Release all that guilt, all that shame, the shaming of wanting to have more. And this brings us up to, because I know so many of you are amazing, amazing, awesome healers. So this brings us to that place where we can release now any and all bodhisattva vow you have taken in past lives. That's a vow where you said, I will have more and enjoy life more when everybody else around me also has more and enjoy life more. And the thing is, other people have their life paths. Some people may need to feel the contrast of what they're here to create. Some people may really, really, really need to be in that space of intense contrast before they have what it takes to create the opposite of it, right? So don't make it about let everybody else have before I can have. Because then you create all kinds of quantum entanglements with states of consciousness that are about guilt, punishment, shame, lack, pain, and what have you. And we're going to release all that now. Wow. And I know many of you have actually made a lot of progress in your life, and you actually do know how to break out of states of limitation and poverty consciousness. But then something pulls you back. So whatever that is, that always pulls you back once you take 1, 2, 3 steps forward and really expand your energy. And then for whatever reason, you can't stay there and keep on expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding, because there's something that keeps on pulling you back. So that means there's a part of you that just doesn't feel congruent with having more, being more, and be willing to be judged for having more, be willing to be seen as someone who has created more, right? It's really hard. It's not the easiest thing at all. And I get that too. I get that from people who are like, why are you showing off? Blah, blah, blah. Or like, I'm not even showing off. I'm just so happy and grateful for what I have. So there's that, right? So if you are in a place where you really are surrounded by people who challenge you every time you have more, and somehow it's more comfortable to fall backwards so that you don't have to take the punishment, the abandonment, deal with the jealousy, deal with the behind your back stabbing, deal with people potentially wanting to steal from you. But when you compromise, what you're doing is you're stealing from your own future. So why are you stealing from your own future just because you fear other people stealing or taking from you? So everything, all the subconscious ways you are actually stealing from your own future in order to appease other people, or because you're just not familiar with being who you really are. Because when we be who we really are, it's a very comfortable space, actually. Like, I'm much more comfortable where I am, being surrounded by items of beauty and elegance, than being surrounded by items that I settle for, like breadcrumbs. So everywhere where you somehow feel safer settling for breadcrumbs than asking for more. Let's release all that. Oh. Oh. And in all past lives where you were punished for having more than other people, let's release all that. And for some of you, it's not actually past life. It's like this life somewhere in the past, right? Like, my family was supposedly wealthy before the Cultural Revolution, and they were wealthy before the Cultural Revolution. And then when the Cultural Revolution happened, they were punished for having more than other people. And I know some of you who are tuning into this Facebook Live or podcast or replay, some of you are tuning in from Eastern Europe, from different parts of the world where you or your ancestors have been in that place, whether you grew up in communism or other kinds of political ideologies that punish you for having more. So let's release all that. Especially for those of us who grew up in communist countries or have ancestors who grew up in communism, where you get punished for having more than others. And in all past lives where things were taken from you by others because you have more. So let's release that. So, what would it feel like for you to really step into that space of abundance, prosperity, magic, and miracles? And all the subconscious and hidden patterns that make it feel kind of wobbly to be in that space. Let's release all that. And now hidden loyalties to any and all family members or to family or to your ancestors that keep you from being more, creating more, having more, enjoying more. So let's see what it's like for you to be in total alignment, vibrational resonance with abundance. So be in vibrational alignment with abundance, true abundance, infinite abundance. And any subconscious programs that keeps you from being in true alignment with abundance, we're going to release all those subconscious programs now. So some of you somehow may have created a way of not ever having enough abundance by maybe you created a relationship problem that's always in struggle, or you created a business that's always in struggle, or you created a chronic illness where you're always in that space of struggle. So everything you created to keep you from feeling abundant and being abundant and fully embodying abundance, be in total vibrational resonance with abundance. Let's release all those things. It could be family issues, family struggles, relationship issues, sabotaging yourself with business choices that just don't work, or sabotaging yourself by creating a health challenge. Oh my goodness, let's see. Okay, what else are you doing to keep yourself from being fully in alignment with prosperity, abundance? Should we do infinite flow of abundance? See what that brings up. Infinite flow of abundance. Wow. Let's do that again. So what would allow you to be in vibrational resonance with infinite flow of abundance? So let's bring in the energy of $10 million. And I hope that really wipes out all your debt, everybody. If bringing in 10 million doesn't wipe out all your debt, oh boy. So, yeah, black magic towards your family. Let's release curses in black magic towards you or your family or your ancestors. Oh my God, you guys. Whoa. Oh my God. Whoa, black magic towards family or you or your ancestors. Oh God, release all this to the light, release to the light, release to the light. And transformed by the light and clear by the light for all of eternity. All black magic towards you or your family or your ancestors. Release to the light, release to the light, release to the light. Clear by the light for all of eternity for everyone. All black magic towards you, your business, your partnerships, your relationships. Let's release all that to the light now. And let it be transformed by the light. Oh, and clear by the light for all of eternity. Oh. So black magic, all forms of black magic released to the light now. Oh. So how many devils? How many devils that you hire to keep you from creating more? All the beings, all the entities, all the devils you hire to keep you in low vibration energy, to keep you in lack. Let's release that. So we did black magic, but curses. Let's do more with curses. Curses directed to you, family, your ancestors, your partners, relationships, business. Let's release all that. Release to the light, dissolve in the light. Clear by the light for all eternity. Black magic and curses towards your home, your family. Release to the light. And transformed by the light and clear by the light for all eternity. Oh my gosh. Wow. And for those of you who actually have issues with your bodies that keep you from feeling that you're able to create more in your life, so all curses or black magic towards your bodies, release to the light now. Oh, release to the light, release to the light. Clear by the light for all eternity for everyone. Wow. And all the agreements you made and all the contracts you made in past lives to experience all this. Let's release all that now. Oh. 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 Let's see, what else is keeping you from being fully in alignment with infinite abundance, prosperity, joy. And then the fear that having more means chaos, right? And oh my gosh. So wherever you equate having more money, like having 10 million, will create chaos for you. That's how poor people think, right? That's not how wealthy people think. So let's release all that. When having more is a trap, you feel like, well, your car owns you, your mansion owns you, this owns you, that owns you. Having more does not mean more personal freedom. It means more chaos, more responsibility, more problems, more issues of all kinds, because you're going to be owned by the things you own. That thought, let's release all that. So if you totally own your house and you no longer have to pay mortgage, does the house own you or do you own the house? Which is more free? Owning the house is more free, right? So yeah, so everything that makes having more an issue, really, oh, yeah. What if having more actually is free? And what if having more would actually free you from dealing with problem people? Oh, problem people. Everything that problem people brings up for you. You're going to deal with people whether you're rich or poor. You may as well be so freaking wealthy that you can just pay a lawyer to deal with people. Seriously, we all have to deal with all kinds of people anyway, but isn't it more fun to be wealthy? And I used to have such problem believing that myself because, like I said, I lived in a communist country. And if you have more than others, oh boy, you better be able to explain yourself and cover yourself and, take cover. So what do we need to liberate ourselves from? There's a lot of energy that makes it hard to liberate ourselves completely from paradigms of limitation. That limitation also includes limiting our personal power, limiting our joy, limiting our creativity, limiting our movement, limiting so many things. So, freedom from problem people. that's that's a whole weak obsessions in and of itself. Yeah, freedom from problem people. Maybe that would be the next series I do because it requires that. Boy, and if I know how to create, yeah, freedom from problem people. Let's go with that. Too much to explain. So what would it take to have total freedom, liberation from problem people? Having that is infinite wealth in itself. Who wants freedom from problem people? Let's see. I want to see what you guys are writing. Freedom from problem people. I really like that. Liberation from problem people. Freedom from problem people. Free of problem people. I can see it now. If I write a book with the title, How to Be Free of Problem People, holy cow, bestseller. I know it. Here we go. So for those of you who know how to be free of problem people, you have a $10 million deal. That's your $10 million. Freedom, liberation, free of problem people. No matter what money we have, just free of problem people. Yeah, that's a good point. So that means there's certain people who control your purse string, who have your puppet string. So everyone who has your puppet strings, release all that. And if you still have parents who have your puppet string, yeah, if you have siblings who still have your puppet string, release that. So the difficult person in the family or in the relationship is the one who has your puppet strings. And if there's somebody who had your puppet strings, there's a lot of disempowerment going on, to say the least. There's lots of perceptual distortions created that create energetic distortions in your body. So let's clear all that, all the perceptual distortions, all the energetic distortions that are created from that, from interacting with problem people. Freedom from problem people, controlling people, anyone who has your puppet strings. So what would it take? Okay, I think I got what I need to do for the next series of calls. After we're done with Money, Magic, and Miracles, got to clear out problem people. Because when you have all the money in the world and you have the magic to create something different, you're going to be clear of problem people. If you can access your magic, what will you do? Clear out all the problem people? Yeah. Okay, so what are problems that are keeping you from being in total vibrational resonance with abundance, prosperity, joy, magic. Look at all that. And I'm going to close the Akashic record so that we get to play in just a space of everyday consciousness, because you want to be able to have all this with you when you're in the space of everyday consciousness. So let's do that. The Akashic records are now closed. Thank you, loved ones and keepers of the Akashic records. Thank you, all the angels and guides and ascended masters who bless this session for everyone with love and light. The Akashic records are now closed. The Akashic records are now closed. Oh, yeah, the Akashic records are now closed. Okay, so in the space of everyday consciousness, you still want to be able to really fully embody and be in vibrational resonance with infinite wealth and abundance and prosperity and joy and magic and miracles. So what would it take for you to be able to embody this in everyday consciousness? Bring this energy with you in your everyday consciousness. And now if you're doing surrogation for anyone, this is the time to just clear and release all that now so that you can safely embody all this for you. Then it's easy to do surrogation work later, but let's clear all the surrogation stuff now. Yeah. And anything that anyone release from this in this space, let's make sure that it really is totally clear in the light for all of eternity, so that nobody takes on anyone else's problems. So everywhere where you may still be somehow subconsciously taking on other people's stuff, and you think you have to heal everybody on this call and everybody on this replay, let's release that. Don't take on other people's problem, people. Not funny, but funny. So if you have all the wealth, all the money, all the financial freedom and abundance you desire, who would be really unhappy with you? So that's the person or people or family who have your puppet strings, right? So let's release all that to the light and let it be transformed by the light and cleared by the light for all of eternity. Oh. So now, does it feel safe and easy to be in total vibrational resonance with having all the money you can handle? So what would it take to really be able to handle having $10 million? Yeah, let's just bring in that energy. And what ideas will you have to act on for this to happen? And bring in that action plan. And what else would support you to have 10 million? With total ease and grace. Total ease and grace. So what if money requires loving, kind, empathic, psychic, intuitive people like you to own it, to have more of it, so that the morphic field around money gets transformed because compassionate people like you now have it, then it allows money itself, the morphic field around money, to be filled with compassion and love. So there's nothing about money that we need to change. Money just needs to change hands sometimes. Like from, I don't know why I used to think drug dealers are the people who are wealthy, but instead of thinking that, what if it can be in the hands of loving people? Because when it's in the hands of loving, kind, compassionate, humanitarian people, money itself becomes loving, kind, compassionate, humanitarian. It becomes a force for change for the better. So are you willing to become a force for change for the better? Even if you did nothing more than to just have that 10 million, that 10 million in the hands of a compassionate person allows the energy of money to serve its purpose of expanding the energy of compassion in the world, right? So forget whatever beliefs that are out there, but what if money is actually looking for a new owner, right? Just like a beautiful home doesn't want to be owned by people who don't care for it. A beautiful home wants to be owned by people who can bring out the beauty and elegance of it. And money is that way too. Money wants to be owned by people who are going to make it look good, right? So that it doesn't have to be owned by people like drug dealers, for example, or dictators, for God's sake. Because that's where bad things happen. The intention of the owner makes the energy of money what it is. So what if money itself wants to be owned by loving people, by compassionate people, by good people, And it could be a force for good in the world. Money wants to be a force for good in the world. Yeah, just feel into that. Money wants to be a source, a force. Yeah, money wants to be a force and a source for good in the world. And it's looking for loving, kind people to own it, just like a home wants to be owned by people who are willing and able to bring out the beauty of it, the elegance of it, the sweetness of it. Money is kind of like that too. It wants to be owned by people who are able to appreciate the light side of money, right? The goodness of money, the elegance of having money, the elegance of being money. So, regardless of the beliefs about money, what if you really can see that money wants to be owned by you rather than, say, again, a drug dealer or dictator, right, who's not going to do good with it. Money wants to be cared for by someone who knows how to make the best use of it. Money likes to be owned by you. Money likes to be owned by you. Money is looking for kind, compassionate, loving owners. Just like the puppies in animal shelters, they really want to be owned by loving and kind people and be free of being owned by dictators, really. So what if money loves to be owned by you? Are you willing to have more now? And that's really how we're going to transfer power from the dictators to the masses. The transfer of power isn't always about what's going on with government. Government is just a reflection of us. The transfer of power happens individually because it's individual freedom that is meaningful, right? Individual freedom and liberation is what's meaningful for each and every person. When it comes down to the quality of your life, it's your own individual freedom, liberty, joy that matters, and your health. And money likes to be joyful, free, elegant, beautiful. Money likes to support all that. So are you willing to have it now? So what would allow us to be in vibrational resonance with having lots of money for total ease and joy? Oh, wonderful. Good. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, everybody. So I look forward to hearing from you what changes in your life. And in the coming week, do check in my Facebook group, Beyond Alchemy with Grace, and let us know what changes for you. And I wish you an awesome weekend, and I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me today. Bye.